And welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of our Naruto at a Resurrección series. Arrogante! Barragan Luizaban's Zanpakuto and Resurrection won out the day. Now, for anyone who's not a Bleach fan, obviously I'm going to have to just let you know. And look at my awesome thumbnail once again. Look at all those tan lines on Naruto. I wanted to kind of try at first to match Naruto's face in this, but I'm like, no, I think we're fine. I think we'll live. So, Barragan Luizenban was, and actually, believe it or not, if you look up Barragan Louise, that's a real person, who I'm guessing might have inspired on some level Barragan. But Barragan Luizenban was the second in command of the Espada. He was technically the second strongest Espada, although you have Espada Zero and Yami Largo, and that one's, we'll talk about that when we get there. But for all intent and purposes, he was the second strongest in terms of pure power. The only other one who was stronger than was Stark, and his pure strength was, and that's how Aizen rated him, was on Ryatsu. He was even stronger than Barragan on that front. But technique-wise, Barragan is the most dangerous individual of the Espada. I don't think it's really that debatable. This is because of the aspect of death that Barragan embodies. He embodies senescence, or time. And what this allows him to do, even before we even get to his Zanpakuto, like the release and his full resurrection, is he has time manipulation abilities. He literally has a time dilation field around him, which slows down anything because it's just dilating time and slowing it down. So even fast opponents, people who can move at light speed, it becomes irrelevant. So if we were to say use Naruto, who had Kimpika in the last, in the Devil Fruit What If, versus Barragan, doesn't matter. First off, most Bleach characters get well above light speed anyway. But beyond that, even if Kimpika, I can't remember. Even if the guy who used Kimpika, I'm sorry, the Pika no Mi. I keep saying Kimpika. That's Korinji's Zanpakuto. Even the user of the Pika no Mi, moving at light speed, all of a sudden, boom, you hit the dilation field. And if anyone knows how like black holes work, that's actually how black holes work too, and they suck in light and slow down light. So, yeah, no, even it's almost like a perfect defense, at least in a sense of you have to be able to still react accordingly to what's happening. It's kind of like a spider sense in that way, where it's everything slows down. Like, it's like, ha! It's like, you still got to be able to react to it. But there's a secondary effect of this time dilation field. He can actually age things up to the point where they break down. He touched Soifon's arm at one point, shoulder, and he literally aged her bones into just brittleness. So even before we get to the release, which, by the way, yeah, that's the Zanpakuto. It's not a release. The Zanpakuto of Espada aren't like Zanpakuto of Shinigami. They don't. He doesn't start with a katana and it turns into this and he gets a bankai. No, this is his Zanpakuto. So keeping that in mind too. But then when he goes with the release command Rot, he turns into the Grim Reaper itself. And I mean, look at this SOB. Look at that. I didn't even realize that this image is somewhat see-through, but it kind of works here. Look at this bad boy. I mean, let me give a full image here real quick. That's fear right there, man. That's the Grim freaking Reaper. And he really only has one. Here's the thing about Barragan in this form. We don't know if he still uses the time dilation field. It's never shown if he's using it. By all accounts, it seems to be sacrificed for the other ability, which is Respira. It literally just stands for breath or breathe. And it is a miasma that literally just rots anything it comes in contact with. Legitimately anything. And I mean, we're talking about, obviously, organic material. Inorganic material. We're talking about energy itself. Keto barriers were set up to try to fight off the Respira, and it did decay. It even says there could be keto that lasts 1,000 years, but even keto ages. Like, there is literally nothing that the Respira went up against that it would not decay. The only exception to this rule is obviously Aizen. well, we don't know about Geen or Tozen. Honestly, I debate whether or not Geen was stronger than, say, Stark or or Barragan, honestly, because he's powerful. Geen is powerful. In fact, he's known as a prodigy for a reason. But I think it's more they had to listen to Geen because he worked under Aizen. But anyway, Aizen still is I think, an exception. And the one example of one of the weaknesses of Respira is simply Ryatsu versus Ryatsu. Aizen was that much stronger than Barragan, ergo his Ryatsu could negate and just offset that Respira. Yamamoto fell into this category as well. It's very likely someone like Kenpachi would have fell into this category as well. His pure Ryatsu could have just, negated the Respira. So, yeah, it's got one, not weakness, but defense against it. Otherwise, Respira is broken. It's one of the most broken powers in Bleach. There's if you want to put it in the top 5 broken abilities in Bleach, I mean, I don't know if Respira is maybe it's in the top 10. It's definitely in the top 10, guaranteed. I mean, you take the Almighty out of the equation, you take Kyoka Suigetsu, you take Ichimonji, and then you'd have to, maybe Zonka Natachi maybe would be, I mean, that's pretty broken. I mean, the balance, the X-axis, those are pretty, but the Miracle are pretty broken. But Respira falls into the category of broken abilities. And so we begin. Also, should note, every time, at least with a Resurrection, I do let the aspect of the Zanpakuto, or the hollow abilities, influence Naruto to some degree. So now that we're almost 7 minutes in, let's actually talk about this, shall we? So, as always, this would be an Uzumaki heirloom of some kind. Naruto finds it in the scroll, puts his finger on it, out pops this giant axe. And something actually needs to be noted right up front here. That axe is about the same size as Barragan, if not maybe even a little taller. Barragan, though, despite how he looks, is actually only 5'5.5". He's actually not that tall, despite how he looks. And this, I think, is because a lot of people in Japan are shorter than, say, a 6 foot, 5'11", anything like that. There are characters who get into that height range, definitely in the Saji and Kenpachi. They're all that height, but most of our other characters actually, despite the way they may look, are actually not that tall. I mean, honestly, 6 foot is actually considered very tall by most standards, even in the U.S. I'm 6 foot. I used to be 6'1", but I'm a little shorter than that. Now I'm about 6 foot. Still, yeah. So right out the gate, because that axe is roughly the same height as Barragan, that thing is way larger than Naruto, who is among the shortest in his class. He's around. If I remember correctly, if I did the math on it, he's around 5. No, he's not 5 foot. He's under 5 feet. He's around 4 foot. He's around 4'9" give or take. He is shorter. Wait, what was it? Sorry, I'm blanking on this right now. Yeah, he's around 4'8", 4'9". He is. I mean, when you look at the actual official wiki, it's in centimeters. So I mean, honestly, at the beginning of the series, he's hold on, centimeters to feet, real quick here. A centimeter, because that's the thing with Bleach. Centimeters to inches. With the Bleach measurements, they actually do give you in feet. Barragan's 5 foot and 5.5, and his axe is basically about the same width. So Naruto at the beginning is around 100. Is around No. Something's wrong here. Something is very effing wrong here. Do you want to know why something's wrong here, folks? Because according to this, at 143 centimeters, Naruto is actually taller than Barragan. There is no way that can be right. That's 50. Oh, no, wait a minute, no. I realize where I've now screwed up completely. No, sorry. I realized immediately where I screwed up completely. For some reason in my head, I went 5 foot, 5 foot in inches is somehow, it's like 50. I was equating it differently. No, sorry. I apologize profusely for that. 6 inches, 60 inches is 5 feet tall. Okay. Naruto is about 56 inches tall. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Which means he's about 4 foot, he's about 4'6", roughly speaking. He's about 4'6". Or 4 foot, no, he's about 4'8". Sorry, 4'8". That's what he is. So I was right. I was right in my initial. I was looking at that and the numbers got weird in my head. Anyway, this means this axe is taller than Naruto. Now, granted, because it's his, he should be able to wield it fine. Relatively. It's not as heavy to him as it is to someone else. But it is still hefty and weighty, especially that axe head. That axe head is, even Barragan isn't like doing that. It's a power weapon. But more to the point, Naruto, when Naruto takes it, it's his now, and Ruka doesn't really complain about it. But Sarutobi, watching the situation, is worried. It's like, if that is the heirloom of the Uzumaki, Naruto has inherited a great power and a great curse. That's the thing. I liken some of these to more like cursed objects that maybe were never fully controlled. Arrogante would definitely fall into that category. First of all, Naruto, as he's getting ready, Naruto will always generally be Naruto, but influences to his personality, I think, are great. And I think one of the problems with Arrogante is its aspects, time and senescence. I think really what happens here is that Naruto starts to become a little bit colder and more world-weary and a little bit more gruffer. Now, he's still got that desire to be Hokage, desire to protect, all that. Like, he's still got the Naruto. He can still get excited, all that, but Naruto quickly... Naruto's even aware, it's like, man, I don't know why, but I've been feeling really grumpy lately, and I'm not quite sure what's going on here. And that's because you're now feeling the weight of the world, boy. Here's the voice in his head. Now, again, I don't liken the Zanpakuto spirit to the Resurrection. Like, Barragan's not in his head, but I can see Arrogante kind of talking to him a little, like almost having a voice of itself. It's because time is eternal, and time wears on us all. Senescence. And it's like, Naruto's just like not understanding what's happening. Now, Naruto obviously wouldn't immediately have his resurrection. He's not aware of it yet. But he is aware that there's a power in this blade. And so and I can totally see Naruto, by the way, actually maybe walking around like Barragan does. I can see him having an outfit very similar to this, but in orange. And obviously his ninja tool, it's longer than, say, his actual jacket going down to his waist. Minus, like, the cuffs or, like, the belt and whatever. And definitely not the crown. But Naruto definitely could maybe change his outfit up. I'd say even before Shippuden era. I'd say that. So yeah, I could see something like that happening down the road. But Naruto is starting to walk down the street, and then initially he meets Konohamaru, and he's annoyed by Konohamaru, like he is before. He's just like, but he feels a little bit even more like just exasperated about it. It's like, this kid. Fine. He's like, I'll help you. And ultimately they still bond and all that. Almost nothing ever changes with Konohamaru here. It's when we get to the actual, meeting, the actual team assignments that things start to change a little. Then, he walks in, he's got the axe on his back, and he's got to keep it, like, crossed. Because Barragan kept his axe in his freaking throne room. Yeah, but he keeps it, like, across his back. He can't keep it straight. And everyone's looking at him. And they do, I think one of the things that maybe Iruka does help him with later down the road, as Iruka sees this thing, he's going to need a better way to, access that thing. Naruto, would you mind coming here for a moment? What is it, Iruka-sensei? And he gets there. And the few people who are there know, it's like, what the heck is that thing? I was like, Naruto, what would you say about maybe getting a tattoo? Would you want to get a tattoo? It's like, a tattoo? I mean, that sounds kind of cool, but why would I get a tattoo? Well, I noticed you're new weapon is quite large and a little cumbersome. Yeah, I'll admit it's kind of hard to move. It's not that heavy, surprisingly, but it's really hard to be walking around and being fast with this thing. Well, I could we could figure out a storage seal situation on you. You could put it on your wrist, and anytime you want it, you could just tap your wrist, channel chakra through your that, and it pops out your wrist. Hey, that'd be really cool. Thanks, Haruka Sensei. Again, Naruto's still Naruto, just the world where he's going to kick in a bit more. He's going to come off more like a grumpy old man at points. And so, and honestly, I can even do it right now if you like. Just it might hurt a little bit. It's like, oh man, that hurts. And okay, all right, try it. This is so cool. Thanks, Haruka Sensei. So he goes like, Naruto, what are you doing here? What the heck was that big axe? See this? It's a regulation headband, Shikamaru. I graduated. We're going to be training together. As for that axe, well, that's my business. And so Naruto, he's happy. And then he sees Sasuke. He's like, Sasuke, whatever. And then he sees Sakura. I was like, move it, Naruto. And she's like, Sakura. And just... And unlike before, he doesn't really need influence here, except from the Zanpakuto warping his personality just a little bit. He actually does get, like, miffed by this. Just like, what? Why is she just... Why do I like her again? Like, he actually questions that in his own head. Why do I like her again? She's always obsessing over Sasuke. She's never that nice to me. I mean, she's pretty, but why do I take this? I don't like that. I don't like this. And Naruto, for the first time ever, just says, no, I'm not moving, Sakura. I was here first. Sorry. You're welcome. You can sit right next to me if you want. And it is like, it's not like he immediately gets over the crush or anything, but he's immediately like, I don't want to be treated this way. So even though I like her, I'm not going to let her do this. Like, what? You idiot! I said, get out of my way! And she comes out, and Naruto's like, what the hell? She's throwing a punch at me again? And then he notices, and she even is like, what? It's like, because he hasn't had a chance to test the time dilation field yet, or even know he has it. He realizes her punch is slowing down, and he just, it's like, what? And Sasuke actually kind of is like, what was that? Oh, that's it. How did he learn to do that? Like, what? I said, move! Look, which Naruto just says, look, and he doesn't know how to control it yet, so he doesn't know really what's going on. He has to test it out. But he just kind of bats her hands like, look, if you want to move, I'll move, okay? Fine, screw it. I don't have to deal with this crap. It's like, what an annoying... and he goes and sees that Hinata has a spot. Like, Hinata, can I sit next to you? It's like, okay. It's like, oh, thank you. Man, you know, I'm starting to wonder why just because he's oblivious to Hinata, I'm starting to wonder why I like her, you know? It's like, yeah. And you know, whatever. And Sakura's just like, what was that? But she's like, Sasuke! I was like, oh, God. Sasuke's just like, but he does kind of look over to Naruto a bit. What was that? And so he kind of just starts talking to Hinata a little, as best as Hinata can have a conversation with him. And he's like, oh man, you're so quiet, Hinata. And he's actually taking in Hinata for a change. He's like, no, she's actually very nice. She's quiet. She's a little weird, but she's nice. I like her. She's pleasant to be around. And so then obviously Haruka. Of course, Haruka technically wasn't there to begin. I'm just saying Haruka was there in this version. Haruka gives out the class senate. Team 7 will be Naruto, Uzumaki, Sakura, Haruno. I'm doomed. To which Naruto's like, oh, we'll see how this goes. And then Sasuke, Uchiha. But hooray! It's like, oh, God. To which again, and again, it's more or less that annoying brat way of him asking the question and more of him going like a grunt, just a tired old man. Hey, Haruka Sensei, why do I have to be on the same team as Sasuke? Luckily, I think he's got weirdly enough of Prince just ask, not great ninja, but why do I have to be on Sasuke's team? Naruto, Sasuke get the highest scores. Naruto, you got the last. You put the worst with the last student. And so it's like, great. And that's what I get for not studying. And so, good luck on your team too, Hinata. And he still gives a smile. I still think he plays a prank on Kakashi, whatnot, all that. And so Kakashi is like, my first thought is you're a bunch of idiots. Meet me on the roof in 5 minutes. All right. Tell me your hobbies, your dreams, or your users, things like that. Okay, my Naruto's name is Naruto Uzumaki, ramen, all that. I'm also trying to figure out my sword to my weapon, this heirloom I got from that scroll of seals. Like, heirloom? Oh yeah, you guys haven't seen it yet. It just shows off the X. It's like, ah! Like Sasuke had briefly seen it. But again, getting close, like, what the heck? How did you? Yeah, Ruka Sensei gave me this cool seal on my wrist. That way I can just beat having to carry this thing around. My God. I see. I've heard. So interesting. I've heard rumors about this blade. A blade that is. It's never a weapon that's never ceasing, like time itself. But that could carry some risks too. He's saying this in his head right now. We'll have to wait and see. And so ultimately, Naruto, Sakura still says, I hate Naruto! Gah! Naruto's very quick to be like, what did I do to you? I even says like, Naruto's like, I think maybe Naruto almost at that point actually says, what did I do to you? Although, I am forgetting the intermission between the team and the actual team. I'm forgetting the lunch period. I think Naruto just kind of stays by himself. I don't think he tries to actually, I don't think he takes Sasuke's place. I think, he tries to be nice and like, you want to eat lunch together? Naruto, you're annoying. He's like, and I think it might be here where Naruto says, yeah, well, you're not, to which Naruto actually claps back at her at one point, just says, yeah, well, you're no sunshine and rainbows either. What? It's like, look, I get it. I can be annoying today, but you don't have to be so rude. God, I'll leave you alone. Whatever. And it's like, what? To which then Sasuke, again, she just gets rejected by Sasuke. Now, which, by the way, I think some of this was anime only, but, she's trying to be nice to Naruto. Great, she tries to be nice to Naruto. And then they do the whole team assessment thing, and she just says, what do you hate? Naruto! Oh, yeah, great job in trying to be nicer, Sakura. Now, again, I think some of that was anime only, but still. Regardless, Naruto's kind of not. It's like it's amazing how just a week's time with this Zanpakuto has kind of altered his perspective on things. Like he's now just got this fed up attitude, this old angry attitude in some ways, mixing with his personality. Oh, and don't forget, don't eat breakfast or you'll puke. And so they go, and the bell test begins, and Naruto comes in, and he just comes in with a kunai at first, and this immediately Kakashi notices the time dilation. He notices it. I see, Naruto. Are you aware of what you're doing exactly? And I think that's one of the things he does explain to Naruto what's going on. You've noticed it, haven't you? The time things seem to be slowing down. They're also kind of not only that. I accidentally turned a bowl of ramen into just rotten slop last night. I see. You have something called a time dilation field around you, Naruto. This is probably when they're actually fighting around you. A time I don't know much about that blade you use, but I have heard the rumors of it was a cursed relic of the Uzumaki, a weapon that only the most desperate were to use. It was sealed in Konoha for their own safety. Time dilation means that time moves differently around you. Again, I'm told you had a little incident before the team selection. That's why Sakura's punch slowed down. Time was literally slowing down around me. Yes, and why that ramen you had last night probably didn't. You probably accidentally aged it too quickly and turned it into rotten goop. It's an ability you're gonna have to learn to control, Naruto. Meanwhile, though, if we go to Naruto attacking Kakashi, I think initially he just goes for his kunai because that's in the standard go-to. He hasn't practiced with his blade too much. But here's the thing, Kakashi, probably knowing enough about the time dilation field to understand it, probably, Naruto's like, you're not going to catch me again, just only to be grabbed by Kakashi. And just, what the? Yeah, that time, yeah, and that's where he maybe explains what later on what's going on. So when him and Kakashi are squared up, if I can slow time around me, then how did you catch me? Because you have to still react to things, Naruto. Your speed on its own is fine, but you can only focus on so many things at once. So when my initial attack came for you, It may have slowed down, but you didn't see the second attack coming, and therefore you got cocky. And so, well, then it brings out Arrogante. This time I won't! And now Kakashi's really just avoiding. Kakashi, while confident he can take Naruto, also is aware I'm going to have to be really careful around this kid. If he still doesn't have control over that, I could end up an old man I could end up with a heart of a 90-year-old with him just touching me by accident. And so there he's going back to Naruto saying, "Get back your Shadow Clone Jutsu!" Not good. Fire style! Fireball Jutsu! And unfortunately, the Narutos are in midair. They can't just disappear. And the one Naruto, got you, Kakashi Sensei! Only trying to wind up in Ninja Wire. Not like the wire. Because Kakashi most likely would have set a trap for him, like outright during the fight here. It's fast, but if Naruto's not able to see it, damn it! I can't get him. No, you can't. You are dangerous, Naruto. I'll give you that. You're probably the most dangerous member. But unfortunately, your power is young and still needs a lot of control, or time to be. It still needs a lot of time to be worked on. I can't afford to have you touch me by accident. Of course, if you think you can, all you have to do is age those wires if you think you can get out. And so that's when, and Sakura and Sasuke are watching. It's like, what the hell has happened to Naruto? Like, seriously. What time dilation feels, rotting things. What's going on? Accelerating time, and I don't know. But again, Sasuke comes in. Now, Kakashi would be a little bit more taxed here because he had to fight Naruto. But I do think he'd still beat Sasuke pretty soundly. And Sakura, we know, just gets knocked out. Now, I do think Naruto's like, okay, remember how I felt? Remember how I felt with the Robin? And then the wires start aging. Now, that being said, it takes a while to age metal down to nothing. Because he's aging it. He's not exposing it to the elements. Eventually, the metal would break down, but it would still take some time. Eventually, so it takes a couple minutes, but he's like, ha! And then he gets caught in the ninja wire again. It's like, ah! So basically, that is, Kakashi laid a bunch of traps for him just to keep him at bay. Because he understands, A, I can't kill Naruto. That's not what I'm trying to do. And B, I can't let him touch me. And so ultimately, the belts get called. Naruto gets tied up. I was like, there you go. You know what? I'll also say this. I think Naruto I think that's a good way to counter what's the best way to put it? I think it's a good way to limit this ability in a real world perspective. Because we actually only see this ability with Barragan while he has Arrogante on him. Now, I don't know if it's a passive ability of Arrogante. It's most likely a passive ability of Barragan himself. But I think a nice way to kind of at least give a limiter on Naruto here is that if he's not in contact with Arrogante, he doesn't have the dilation field. He can't age things. Now, the reason that it worked in class when Sakura tried to punch him is because Arrogante was sealed in his seal. It was still connected to him. But Arrogante put over there, so Naruto just can't age himself out of the ropes. I can't. What? It's like, damn it! And then I swear I'll get out of here. I can go for days, weeks, no matter what. To which Sasuke then tests the theory. It's like, wait, what was that for? You didn't slow my punch down. I did. It's like, and then you realize, I see. I guess it's because you're not connected to that sword or that axe. You're not touching the axe. I think Sasuke figures it out pretty quick, and Sakura's like, and this is earlier. She probably just ow! What the hell? You know what? I take it back. I don't know why I ever liked you. Like, I actually think he maybe just goes out and Sakura's like, you know, you don't need me bothering you anymore. Good. We're good now. I'm done with you. Like, he's kind of annoyed. To be fair, I don't think Sakura does that right then and there. I think that happens later on at some point, and Naruto's just fed up with her. Mind you, at that point, they will probably start getting along because they're working together more effectively. But again, Naruto is kind of a tired old man in some ways now. So he's not willing to take shit that he doesn't deserve. Ultimately, obviously, we get Kakashi. You broke the rules. I hope you're ready for the consequences. Those who break the rules are scum. That's true. But those who abandon their friends are worse than scum. Team 7 has passed. We'll have our first missions tomorrow. All right, then. He's kind of cool. So that is where we're going to end part 1. I spent a lot of time on just explaining Barragan's abilities and, the height and all that. But now that we're really into it, we will definitely be getting. Someone said this will maybe only be a 4-parter. I don't know if I'll go that far about as it being a 4-parter. Because, Atlanta Waves and maybe even the beginning of the tuning exams is probably going to be its own part. The Konoha Crush and maybe Itachi and Kasami are their own arcs. Tsunade, 3-way deadlock, and if Sasuke goes rogue, it's his own arc. But no, it's going to be more than a 4-parter. It will be more than a 4-parter. Probably like a 5 or a 6-parter. But anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.